Tom Cruise, a name that echoes through Hollywood louder than any explosion in Mission? Impossible. He's been the charming pilot in Top Gun, the daring secret agent in Mission. Impossible. And even the unlikely rock star in Rock of Ages. But beyond the flashing lights and jaw-dropping stunts, there's a side of Tom Cruise that very few people ever see. Today, we're uncovering the 10 most surprising facts about Tom Cruise's secrets even his biggest fans might not know. Get ready, because some of these will truly leave you stunned. Number 10. He grew up very poor. Today, Tom Cruise lives in mansions, flies private jets, and has a net worth of hundreds of millions. But once upon a time, Tom's life was anything but glamorous. He was born Thomas Cruise Mapother IV in Syracuse, New York. His family struggled with money constantly. They moved over 15 times during his childhood because they couldn't afford to settle down. Sometimes they barely had enough for food. Tom described his father as a bully and a coward, someone who would beat him for no reason. This rough childhood gave Tom the toughness that later made him unstoppable in Hollywood. When you see Tom Cruise hanging from planes or performing impossible stunts, remember, he's been surviving the impossible since he was a little boy. Number 9. He wanted to become a priest. Before he dreamed of red carpets and box office hits, Tom had a very different dream. He wanted to be a Catholic priest. At the age of 14, Tom attended a Franciscan seminary in Cincinnati. He was serious about his faith and even considered devoting his life to the church. But after just 1 year, Tom changed paths. Some say he was caught stealing alcohol from the priests. Others say he simply realized acting called him louder than religion did. Either way, the world didn't get a priest. It got one of the biggest movie stars in history instead. Number 8. He does almost all his own stunts. When most actors say, "I do my own stunts," it usually means a few minor fight scenes. But when Tom Cruise says it, he means dangling off skyscrapers and jumping out of airplanes at 25,000 feet. In Mission Impossible Fallout, Tom actually performed over 500 skydives during training before doing a real halo jump, high altitude, low opening, for the movie. He's also scaled the Burj Khalifa in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Yes, the tallest building in the world. No green screen, no stunt double. Just Tom, some cables, and a lot of guts. He's broken bones, suffered serious injuries, and risked his life for authenticity. For Cruise, the danger is part of the magic. His motto, if you're going to do it for real. Number 7, he's extremely short for a Hollywood action star. When you think of action heroes, you imagine towering giants, right? But Tom Cruise stands only 5 feet 7 inches tall, much shorter than many leading men in Hollywood. In fact, in some of his movies, clever camera angles, custom shoe lifts, and careful positioning are used to make him appear taller next to his co-stars. But here's the real kicker. Tom never let his height stop him. Instead of worrying about fitting Hollywood's mold, he redefined it. He proved that charisma, talent, and pure determination are more powerful than a few extra inches. In Hollywood, where looks can be everything, Cruise built a career based on energy, emotion, and fearless action. Number 6. He saved lives in real life. Tom Cruise isn't just a hero on screen. He's also saved lives off-screen multiple times. In 1996, while cruising around Los Angeles, Tom witnessed a woman getting mugged. He chased the attackers away and stayed with the victim until paramedics arrived. Later that year, he saw a hit-and-run accident. Instead of driving away, Tom stopped, called an ambulance, and even paid the injured woman's $7,000 hospital bill when he found out she didn't have insurance. These stories aren't PR stunts. They weren't arranged for cameras. They're just examples of Tom Cruise's instinct to act when others freeze. In his movies, he plays heroes. In real life, sometimes he's one too. Number 5, he's dyslexic. Reading scripts, memorizing lines, studying contracts, all huge parts of an actor's life. But for Tom Cruise, reading has always been a nightmare. Tom was diagnosed with dyslexia at the age of 7. He described himself as a functional illiterate through most of his school years. He struggled to read textbooks, struggled to focus, and often felt isolated and humiliated. But he didn't let dyslexia define him. Tom used techniques like visual learning, hands-on practice, and relentless repetition to memorize scripts. Later, he credited Scientology for helping him develop methods to overcome his reading difficulties. Regardless of how he did it, the fact remains. The world's biggest movie star battled a learning disability every step of the way and still won. Number 4. He was never paid up front for mission. Impossible. Most actors demand huge paychecks before they even step on set. But when Tom Cruise launched Mission Impossible in 1996, he did something incredibly risky. He didn't take an upfront salary. Instead, he negotiated for a percentage of the profits. If the movie failed, Tom would have earned almost nothing. But if it succeeded, he'd earn more than any actor could dream of. Mission Impossible became a massive hit, grossing over $450 million worldwide. And Tom's gamble paid off, making him one of the highest-paid actors in the world. Today, Cruise not only stars in the franchise, he also produces it. In Hollywood, he's not just an actor. He's a business empire. Number 3, he refused to sell his likeness to toys and video games. In an age where celebrities' faces are sold on every product, Tom Cruise made a surprising decision. He refused to allow his likeness to be used in action figures, video games, or cartoons. That's why you'll never find an Ethan Hunt action figure that actually looks like Tom Cruise. He wants to protect his image and keep it tied strictly to his movies, not merchandise. For Tom, it's not about cashing in on every opportunity. It's about controlling his brand, maintaining a certain mystery, and keeping the audience's focus on the story, not the marketing. Number 2, he almost played Iron Man. Before Robert Downey Jr. became Tony Stark, there were talks about another actor wearing the Iron Man suit. Tom Cruise. Back in the 1990s, long before Marvel ruled the world, Cruise was considered for the role of Iron Man. He even showed interest in producing and starring in the film, but due to creative differences and the project getting delayed for years, Tom eventually stepped away. Imagine a world where Tom Cruise was the face of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Would it have worked? We'll never know. But considering Tom's track record, it's hard to bet against him. Number 1, he's obsessed with perfection. If there's one thing that defines Tom Cruise beyond his charm, beyond his talent, it's his obsession with perfection. He's famous for doing endless takes of scenes until they're absolutely flawless. He trains for months just for a single stunt. He memorizes every tiny detail of production, from lighting to camera angles to editing styles. Directors say he's like having another producer on set. Co-stars say he raises the bar for everyone around him. Tom Cruise doesn't settle for good enough. He demands excellence from himself and everyone he works with. It's exhausting, it's intense, but it's also the reason why, after decades, he's still at the top. Tom Cruise doesn't just make movies, he makes experiences. And that's why millions around the world still line up to watch whatever he does next. Behind the sunglasses, the dazzling smile, and the record-breaking films, Tom Cruise is pure grit and passion. His tough childhood shaped a fighter, someone who refused to be defined by struggle. Learning disabilities, rejection, doubt, he crushed them all with relentless drive. Every daring stunt, every powerful role is proof of his fearless spirit. He doesn't quit. He doesn't compromise. He doesn't settle for ordinary. Tom Cruise is built different, disciplined, daring, and dangerously determined. While others slow down, he only pushes harder. His career isn't just success. It's a masterclass in perseverance. Love him or hate him, you can't ignore him. Because Tom Cruise isn't finished, he's just getting started. If you found these facts surprising, imagine what else lies behind the curtain of Hollywood's biggest legend. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned because there's always more to the story.